Right now, Madison, Wisconsin is the home of fitness. Pat Vellner at 595.
Oh, yeah.
The name of the game is speed here. This event is all about how fast can you go.
Rumors of Matt Fraser being human have been greatly exaggerated.
There is nothing fancy about this. It is just pure work, and it's gonna hurt.
To carry that much weight on your shoulder, you must have a steel core.
Somebody get out there and tell this woman she's a rookie.
It's day 2 of 4 at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. Athletes are rested after a day off, but they may not be fully recovered. The opening day of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games was the toughest single day of competition athletes have ever seen. 4 total events over a span of 12 hours. It began with a 12,000-meter criterium race. It ended with the longest event in Games history, a marathon row, 42,195 meters. For the second straight year, Patrick Vellner is staging a comeback. He took 35th in the opening event. Vellner starts day 2 in 6th place overall. The 2-time defending fittest man on earth, Matt Fraser, has the lead in the overall standings, but not by much. Sweden's Lucas Hochberg trails him by just 2 points.
Feels good. I don't try to think too much about it. I'm in 2nd place right now. Kind of makes me a little bit nervous, but but you know, it's 3 more days, so it's just started. You know, anything can happen. But I'm gonna for sure do my very best. I want to do really good this year, so yeah, I'm excited.
3 more events await on day 2. The athletes begin with a test of real-world fitness in the Battleground, presented by the United States Marine Corps. They end with a repeat event from last year. CrossFit prepares you for everyday physical challenges. Event 5, the Battleground presented by the United States Marine Corps, will test how athletes apply their fitness outside the gym. They will also have to find a way to handle an implement most have never seen, Rescue Randy.
I was trying to find a gentleman that weighs approximately 185 pounds to practice our little dummy drag with. You can't really ask your competitor to help you warm up with their physical body.
You know, I don't know, I've never really played with a dummy like that. I've carried a lot of down men, but it's different. A fake person versus a real person is different.
I think this whole workout comes down to margins. The run isn't long enough to be the entire workout. The obstacle course isn't hard enough to be the entire workout unless you fail an object.
It's a really fun workout. It's really cool. I also like the respect that they're paying to the Marines. I think that's really unique. I think it takes it back to the heart of the sport. I think that's cool.
The athletes begin the event by dragging Rescue Randy across the field. They will then complete 2 rope climbs before running 650 meters to an obstacle course. After negotiating 8 obstacles, the men return to the North Park, complete 2 more rope climbs, and drag Rescue Randy back to the finish line. Australia's James Newberry's time of just under 9 minutes and 12 seconds is the top time heading into the 4th and final heat.
James Newberry is going to set the new time to beat as he wins heat 3. Opening event of day 2. I'm Sean Woodland alongside Bill Grundler. It's the Battleground presented by the United States Marine Corps, the 5th event of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. Top 10 men in the overall standings are on the field, and for the 2nd straight year, Pat Vellner digging himself out of an early hole right now. He is in 6th place overall.
I mean, this really is a deja vu from last year. Last year, 36th place in that opening event, worked himself up and won the O-Course event last year. This year, 35th place in the opening event, worked himself up, and here we are with another O-Course event, and guess what? He is freakishly strong, as we saw in that CrossFit Total, so this is going to be a great event for him. He's going to be the guy to look at.
Matt Fraser is your overall leader. In the last 2 years in winning the CrossFit Games, Fraser has had the overall lead after 3 events, and he has never surrendered it. Lucas Hogberg is right next to him. He's in lane 6, and Hogberg is only 2 points back in the overall standings of Matt Fraser. And Fraser struggling early with Rescue Randy and is falling behind.
So we got one different drag on the field, and it looks like Cole Sager single-handed running forward. We haven't seen that yet. It's been a lot of monkey see, monkey do, but look at him out, all the way out to the front. Great first move.
Well, Cole Sager is first to the rope. Lucas Hogberg in lane 6 is second. Now here comes Matt Fraser. He's wearing that white overall leader's jersey. He's in lane 5. Sager's through his first rope climb, and now on to the thicker rope for his second rope climb before he takes off on the 650-meter run to the obstacle course. Sager is done. He will now complete a short loop before exiting the North Park and running to the obstacle course. He is your leader, followed by Lucas Hogberg in second, and his overall leader, Matt Fraser, in third. We'll be back with the conclusion of Event 5 of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games.
Event 5 of the CrossFit Games is the Battleground, presented by the United States Marine Corps. Lucas Hogberg and Cole Sager make sure the event lives up to its name.
Oh, we got a little jostling on the field,
First time we've seen that. Cole Sager, the former football player, using a little bit of a swim move to get by Hogberg.
Sager and Hogberg lead on the run to the obstacle course. Brent Fikowski and overall leader Matt Fraser are close behind.
Two of these men looking to put more pressure and possibly pass Matt Fraser in the overall standings, and they are the second of 8 obstacles, the rope wall. Lucas Hogberg up and over that. Cole Sager just barreling over that as well. Now Sager with a slight lead over Hogberg as they make their way to the low net.
I am enjoying seeing Cole Sager pushing the limit early in this competition. We usually don't see that. We usually call him the comeback kid when he does some crazy things on the last 2 days. But knowing that he's up this far on the leaderboard, sitting in third place coming into the day, and pushing the limit, pushing the expectations on this particular event, and pushing the rest of the field, this is awesome.
Well, Brent Fikowski is right next to Cole Sager. That's on the left of your screen. He's climbing the cargo net as well. Matt Fraser is there, as is Patrick Vellner. Sager's up and over. Hogberg hits the ground, and Matt Fraser takes a nasty spill off of that thing, but he is okay, and Vellner's off it as well. But the two of them look to be all right. Fraser gets over the hop logs in a hurry. Vellner looks like he's okay.
Now we really need to think about efficiency versus speed in this particular event. All these pieces are very technical, and there is a race, so you need to make sure you go fast enough, but not so fast that you make mistakes like falling off an obstacle or getting hurt or having to redo another piece of the segment. It's about efficient speed.
Matt Fraser is fighting with Vellner for third place in this event. They're trying to keep pace with Cole Sager, who is your leader. Lucas Hogberg is in second, and that's big because if Hogberg finishes ahead of Fraser in this event, Lucas Hogberg will be your overall leader.
You know, one thing we didn't see with Pat Vellner, he was last getting off the rescue range because the hand of the dummy wasn't in there. So he's made up a lot of distance on the run and through the obstacle course.
Matt Fraser onto the monkey bars. He will get through those, no problem. And now it is the run back to the North Park. Cole Sager is in front of Lucas Hogberg. Sager is in lane 4. Hogberg is in lane 6. So Hogberg will have a shorter distance to run to his rope when he gets back inside the North Park. Cole Sager had a career best 5th place finish at the CrossFit Games in 2016. It was his 3rd career appearance at that point. This is his 5th career appearance that he's making this year. Last year, not as good as that. He was 16th overall, but had 3 top 10 event finishes.
So even though we see Matt Fraser back there in the white shirt making his way up towards Cole up in the front and the rest of the group, I'm most impressed right now with Pat Vellner, who's sitting in that 3rd place spot. You can see him right in the middle, right in front of Matt. He went from last place coming off the floor the first time, having that big fall, and then sitting and pushing the pace to get this close to the rest of the field. This kid is unreal.
And keep this in mind too, even though Hoberg is ahead of Vellner on the run, Vellner has a shorter distance to go to get back to his rope. He's in lane 8, so that's closest to the entrance to the North Park when they return to the run. Hoberg's in lane 6, so Vellner has a little bit of a lead right now on Lucas Hoberg. Cole Sager still your leader, and now Vellner and Hoberg are behind him, and Matt Fraser is behind the two of them, but Fraser now starting to catch up as Sager is on the back stretch behind our broadcast position, and then he'll make the left turn into the North Park, and now Matt Fraser has passed Patrick Vellner. Fraser is in lane number 5. He's right in the middle of the field, but Vellner still has a shorter distance to go to get back to his rope. Now here comes Cole Sager, and he will return to lane number 4 and get to work on his final 2 rope climbs. Lucas Hoberg's back, as is Fraser, and now Patrick Vellner. Sager getting right to work. Sager is on the left, Hoberg's on the right. Hoberg had a little bit of trouble making the touch. There is no requirement as to when the athletes can come off of the rope. So the second they make the touch, if they want to plummet off that thing, they are welcome to do so. Sager's done with his second rope climb, and he will get to work on Rescue Randy, 132 feet. Patrick Vellner is right with him, and now Matt Fraser is done. He is ahead of Lucas Hoberg, and that is big for Matt Fraser as he looks to hang on to the overall lead. Cole Sager, one-handed, dragging that thing down the field, and Cole Sager is staring an event win in the face. Cole Sager all by himself with about 10 feet to go. Hoorah! Cole Sager takes the Battleground, presented by the United States Marine Corps. Matt Fraser has passed Lucas Hoberg. Fraser's in the white, Hoberg's right next to him. Fraser in first, Hoberg in after him, and now Pat Vellner will take 4th in the heat.
And Vellner needed that to move up that leaderboard even more. But what's most impressive are the top 3 finishers. Matt, Cole, and Lucas are also your top 3 overall leaders. And I love that the field is pushing Fraser so hard.
Matt Fraser hangs on to his overall lead. Brent Fikowski gets his 2nd straight top 10 finish. He takes 7th in the event. Lucas Esslinger follows his win in the marathon row with an 11th place finish. Adrian Mundviller comes in less than 2 seconds later. The top 3 in the overall standings remain the same. Brent Fikowski moves from 7th to 6th. And despite his fall, Pat Vellner continues to climb up the standings. He's now in 4th. But he paid a hefty price to get there.
It's like if I do that, like a. Are you having pain? All right. I don't have any pain really. I had a little fall. So they're just trying to look out for him. It's fine. I don't know. That was just dumb. Like I was stupid. Just rushing. Stupid mistake. Now I have to stand around and wait in line at the hospital.
While Vellner says he's okay, the medical staff wants to be certain. After a thorough examination on site, they sent him to a local hospital for more testing. Day 2 of 4 of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games continues. For the fans, it started early. Time and seating are always at a premium. Fans not only want to take in the action, but everything else this annual festival of fitness has to offer. Pat Vellner offered fans a scary moment in Event 5. A fall off the cargo net threatened to end his games. Vellner said he was fine. A trip to the hospital confirmed that.
I got like a couple little bruises in my lung, and that's about it. So I don't know, I feel okay. I'm ready to see, I don't know, if things feel bad down the road, I gotta be a little bit aware of it, but basically that's what I've been told, is just keep your eye on it and don't be stupid. So
Vellner is bruised but not broken. He still has his sights on dethroning the champ. Looks can be deceiving. Such is the case with Patrick Vellner.
I'm like the one guy at the games everyone looks at and is like, really? Someone told me last year that it was funny to watch me walk on the floor because I looked like I was like a lost spectator who wandered out.
Vellner's biggest problem is not his appearance. It's Matt Fraser. The two-time fittest man on earth has been unbeatable since 2016.
Matt definitely can be beaten. No one can't be. People beat him in events all the time, but he's good. He's good at fitness. He's good at CrossFit. Like, he doesn't leave points on the table.
Vellner may be the man with the best chance of dethroning Fraser. Patrick Vellner finished 3rd overall at the CrossFit Games the last 2 years. And he is coming off the first regional championship of his career.
But it's going to be Patrick Vellner. He is going to outrun the rest of the heat. He is in, and he will have the heat win.
Look at this. Wow. 3rd fittest man in the world, 2 years in a row.
And your 2018 East Regional Champ, Patrick Vellner.
He's someone I believe that could beat Matt. I think he needs to tighten some stuff up and he could win.
I think I've got a little bit more confidence in my ability to charge and win events. We work too hard to participate. You want to go there and you want to earn their spots on the podium and you want to win. You want to be the best.
Looks can be deceiving. But right now, Patrick Vellner looks like a contender. And he has his sights set on the top of the CrossFit Games podium. Vellner hopes to pick up points on Matt Fraser in the next event, the Speed, Clean, and Jerk Ladder. Event 6 of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games tests strength and speed. Athletes race through 5 increasingly heavy barbells. Take too much time to rest or set up, and you're likely to get left behind.
Pretty excited, especially not having to squat. Not that squatting would be bad, but it's a little faster. First one's just gonna be grip it and rip it, and then second one, same kind of thing, but not as intense. I don't think I'm top 5 because I can't power all the bars. Doing that heavy power, like all back to back, I don't know. So try to get through the second round first of all, and then from there, just do what you can in the second round.
Well, I'm not the strongest guy here, so if I make it to the top 20, I'm happy, for sure. But I'm just gonna try to keep the speed up, and then we will see.
This is a familiar test at the CrossFit Games. In 2014, athletes faced the clean speed ladder. The following year, it was the snatch, the bar going from the ground to overhead in one fluid movement. In 2016, the speed squat clean ladder appeared. Athletes had to pull themselves under the bar and receive it in a full squat before standing it up. This year, the bar must go from the ground to the shoulders and then overhead. The Speed, Clean, and Jerk Ladder features a bracket format. The top 20 times from 8 quarterfinal heats move on to the semifinals. The best 5 semifinal times advance to a winner-take-all final heat.
Can you lift heavy? And can you lift heavy and fast? That is the question that will be answered in men's event number 6, the Speed, Clean, and Jerk Ladder.
Plenty of athletes have been waiting to get their hands on a heavy barbell. Nick Uranker is one of them.
Nick Uranker has a 396-pound posted clean and jerk. These barbells will fly overhead.
Uranker flies through the 5 barbells. He takes 3rd in his heat, good enough to advance to the semifinals. Willie George and Brent Fikowski joined him.
32.86 for George, 34.04 for Fikowski. Goodmanson in at 38.23.
Bjorkman Goodmanson does not. Pat Vellner takes the floor in the last quarterfinal heat.
So obviously okay enough to compete in this event. The question is he 100%? How will he handle this one?
So does Matt Fraser.
Matt Fraser might be taking the top time here in the quarterfinal round. Why not? Matt Fraser, fastest time in round 1.
Cole Sager fails to move on.
And this could be a huge points hit for the man that entered this event in third.
Matt Fraser, Lucas Hochberg, and Pat Vellner all advance. We go from 20 to the final 5. The stakes get higher as the weights get heavier.
Cheese curds are very popular in Wisconsin. It's hard to go to a restaurant without having cheese curds available to you. It didn't surprise me that a lot of the CrossFitters really like the cheese curds. It's kind of a Wisconsin specialty, so I think it makes sense that they want to try it out while they're here.
Event 6 of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games continues. 20 athletes have moved on to the semifinals of the speed clean and jerk ladder. Overall leader Matt Fraser is one of them.
Semi-final round of event 6, the speed, clean, and jerk ladder. Sean Woodland and Bill Grundler inside the Coliseum. 3 of 4 semi-final heats are done. Nick Urankar has the best time of 53.84 seconds. 5 best times advance to the finals. Matt Fraser and Lucas Hochberg looking to beat that mark.
Now, Matt had the fastest qualifying time in the quarterfinals, so with his Olympic lifting background, you know that this is going to be a great event for him, and he wants to continue to push that lead against the rest of the field. Hochberg, so impressive this year. Didn't even qualify last year, but guess what? He's showing that that was an old year, and this is a new Hochberg.
Final semi-final heat. We start with a 280-pound barbell. Matt Fraser in the middle of your screen is through that with no problem. Fraser's in the lead. Next to him is Tim Paulson at the top of your screen, and on the other side is Lucas Hochberg. Fraser and Paulson now separate themselves. They are the first of the 300-pound barbell, and Scott Panchik is right behind them. Fraser hits that lift, and he continues to lead by about a half second over Tim Paulson. Scott Panchik at the bottom of your screen, moving into third past Lucas Hochberg. Fraser is through, and he will get to the 310-pound barbell. Paulson behind him. Fraser drops the ball, but he'll get right back on it. Fraser has it stood up, as does Tim Paulson. Fraser will miss the jerk. Paulson is through. This could be huge for Lucas Hochberg. Fraser has it stood up. He will hit that. Hochberg hits his lift. Now Fraser is in, but he may not be advancing. Hochberg is in as well. The top 5 times advanced. Matt Fraser may not be one of them.
Matt Fraser rarely makes a mistake. He makes 2 in his semifinal heat. Fraser fails to advance to the finals. But neither do the men chasing him in the overall standings. Lucas Hochberg misses his chance to gain on Fraser. Pat Vellner and Brent Fikowski are also left out of the final. None of them even beat Fraser's semifinal time. Fraser survives his mistakes. As expected, the most powerful athletes in the field find themselves in the final heat. The 2015 fittest man on earth, Ben Smith. Games rookie, Jared Enderton. Nick Urankar. Scott Panchik. And Tim Paulson, who beat Matt Fraser in their semifinal matchup. The final heat is set. It's winner take all. CrossFit Games fans love watching the big weights go up. They also love it when good food and drinks go down. Both are enjoyed in the Beer Garden, one of the most popular venues at the Alliant Energy Center. And with the Coliseum filled to capacity, it's the best place to watch the final heat of the speed, clean, and jerk ladder.
We are down to the final 5, the final heat of event 6 in the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. The speed, clean, and jerk ladder. The men with the 5 best times from the semifinal heats are out on the floor, and the barbells are the heaviest we have seen. 5 barbells starting at 315 and going all the way up to 345 pounds. Nick Urankar in lane number 2. You want to keep an eye on him. This is a guy we know can move some heavyweight.
Yeah, the one thing that Nick is known for, if you were to look on your CrossFit baseball card, is this guy is a specialist when it comes to heavyweights overhead. Might not always look pretty, but it always goes up.
Winner take all. Final heat of the speed, clean, and jerk ladder starts with 315 pounds, and Tim Paulson in the middle of the floor has completed his jerk, as has Nick Urankar in the pink shirt and Ben Smith. And Urankar will be the first man to the 325-pound barbell, followed by Paulson and Smith. Urankar, no problem on the clean. Sticks the jerk, and he remains in the lead. 3 barbells to go. Now 335 pounds for Nick Urankar. Here comes Tim Paulson. Ben Smith, top of your screen, is in third, as he makes his way to the 335-pound barbell. Nick Urankar on his clean. He's the only man lifting right now. Urankar sticks the jerk, and he is way out in front as he moves to the 340-pound barbell. This is Tim Paulson at 335.
Beautiful split jerk by Tim Paulson. If you see, he also changed his grip from his pull to his jerk position. Went a little bit wider, which he's got those long arms, so he shortens that up a little bit.
Ben Smith got no rep, so he's stuck at 335. Urankar about to clear 340. Urankar, 345 pounds between him and an event win, and he's calling on the crowd to get him through this lift. Scott Panchik has just hit 340, as has Tim Paulson. Urankar on the final barbell.
Oh yeah!
Nick Urankar wins the speed, clean, and jerk ladder. Second place in 94 points is still up for grabs, and Tim Paulson right now is the only man on 345 as Jared Enderton gets to the barbell as well. Enderton will beat him to the jerk, and Enderton is across the finish line. Second place for Enderton and a third for Tim Paulson. Scott Panchik fails the clean as we have about 40 seconds to go before we hit the 3-minute time cap. So it's Panchik and Ben Smith, 2 CrossFit Games veterans, still on the floor. Smith at 340. The worst he can do is 5th place in this event. Panchik will hit 345. If Panchik is in, and that means Ben Smith will lock up 5th place.
After 6 of 14 events, Matt Fraser continues to hold on to the overall lead. His margin over Lucas Hochberg more than doubles and now sits at 20 points. Cole Sager and Pat Vellner switch spots as Vellner climbs to 3rd. Brent Fikowski makes his first appearance in the top 5, moving up 1 spot from 6th. Of the 5 men in the final heat, Nick Urankar is the only one to complete the ladder in less than 2 minutes. It's his first career event win. He moves from 16th to 10th overall.
That was awesome. It was so loud. So loud. And they just kept getting louder. And I was like, I don't want to not go. I started telling them to get loud a little early. I wasn't quite ready. And yeah, that was sick. That's energy out there. It's unbelievable. Hopefully it stays like that. I mean, I'm sure it's going to stay like that all weekend.
Up next, only one man finished it last year. Will history repeat itself? The final event from 2017 returns to close out day 2. One event remains on day 2 of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. Director of the CrossFit Games, Dave Castro, often repeats events from prior years. It's a chance to see how much better athletes have gotten. When the final event from 2017 ended, it was clear we would see it again. Logan Collins was the only man to finish all the work inside the 6-minute time cap.
Finally got somebody under the time cap. Logan Collins leads the way with 1 heat remaining.
While the Fibonacci final was a challenge for everyone, it was a victory lap for Matt Fraser. He had already mathematically clinched the title of fittest man on Earth before the event even started.
Matt Fraser basically won the title just by waking up this morning.
Despite that, Fraser finished second in the event behind Logan Collins, en route to winning the CrossFit Games for the second straight time.
Once again, Matt Fraser is the fittest man on Earth.
Facing the same test in 2018, Fraser is in a similar position, on top of the leaderboard. But the situation is different. His 20-point lead is far from safe. Which raises the question, can Matt Fraser be beaten?
I'll tell you what, no.
I don't think so. I don't know. It's going to be tough to do. I think he's got it again.
He's the most dominant athlete in our sport in a long time.
And it is obvious he is the dominant force in the sport right now. In fact, the last 2 years of the CrossFit Games, if you remember, he has had the title wrapped up before the final event even started. And the scary thing is that he seems to be getting better.
Matt definitely can be beaten. No one can't be, but he's good.
Yes, someone can beat Matt Fraser. I don't know who it will be or if it will be this year, but he is human like the rest of us.
Yeah, I think he's beatable. Someone will beat him eventually. Well, I think the person that's going to beat Matt Fraser is the one who's not going to be thinking about him. And I think it could be me.
Like, how do you beat Matt Fraser?
Go back to the drawing board, work really, really freaking hard.
No mistakes and a perfect weekend.
It needs to be your whole life. You have to be consumed with only CrossFit. You have to make the same kind of sacrifices that he does.
I mean, you have to be perfect. 0 flaws, 0 weaknesses. You have to be perfect, period. That's the only way.
You say, well, one man can do, another man can do. How do you beat Rich Froning? Well, you wait till he retires and then you win the CrossFit Games.
Like, if I were programming for me to lose, I'm not gonna tell you that.
Last year, Logan Collins beat Matt Fraser in the Fibonacci final. Fraser rarely loses to the same man twice. Event 7, the Fibonacci, gets its name from the repetition scheme. The 2 prior numbers add up to the 3rd. Athletes complete 5, 8, and then 13 reps of deficit handstand push-ups and kettlebell deadlifts. Then it's an 89-foot overhead walking lunge to the finish. After 3 of 4 heats, only 2 men have finished all the work inside 6 minutes. Logan Collins was first. Noah Olson is the other. His time of 5 minutes and 22 seconds is the top mark heading into the final heat. Will things add up for Matt Fraser, or will the numbers favor someone else? It's the conclusion of Day 2 at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games next.
Fittest on Earth. The 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Rogue Fitness, the official equipment supplier for the CrossFit Games, and by Erosti, the official athlete care provider with over 150 locations nationwide.
The CrossFit Games are approaching their halfway point. One event remains on Day 2.
This will be like pretty spicy, but it's all, it's over before it even begins.
Best strategy in this workout, like all workouts, is fast and unbroken. So whoever does that wins. I'm not doing it.
It's been a long day. It's gonna be nice to do this one and then go straight to sleep, get some food in and then just sleep.
Day 2 of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. Sean Woodland and Bill Grundler inside the Coliseum at the Alliant Energy Center. The Fibonacci, 3 different movements. And the overall leaders are out on the floor, and it's Lucas Hochberg who's trying to close the gap on overall leader Matt Fraser.
and Lucas Hogberg didn't even qualify for the games last year. But we are 6 events into this competition, so guess what? This is not a fluke. He is a threat to the top. But deficit handstand push-ups could be tough for a taller athlete.
And he's trying to catch that man, Matt Fraser, the overall leader by 20 points. Final heat of Fibonacci underway. We begin with those 5 deficit handstand push-ups.
So right off the gate, you see what my keys are here, no fails. You cannot have fails on these handstand push-ups. And the way it's set up with that 5, 8, 13, break them up early. The next thing, those big, big kettlebells, 203 pounds in each hand. Look how big and awkward those things are. So you're gonna see that the feet are very close together. It's a whole different style of deadlift because you don't have a bar out in front. So there's a lot of dealing, a lot of managing with those kettlebells you have to kind of play with as you work your way through this event.
Jorgen Gudmundsson was the first man done with those 5 deficit handstand push-ups and 5 kettlebell deadlifts. And now we move on to the round of 8. Gudmundsson is on the bottom left of your screen. Leader's name highlighted in a blue box at the top. The number of reps he has completed will be in the white box. The number next to everyone else's name will indicate how many reps behind they are of the leader.
And if you see, Vellner did not break before Matt Fraser broke. Now, this is the thing, Matt knows how to do this. He did very well in this last year, came in second. He's taking an early break, so we talked about not failing. That's very smart for him to do that. Pat Vellner, even though he has his gymnastic skill, went a little bit longer, but they just need to make sure they don't get close to that failure mark.
This is a repeat event from the final event of the 2017 Reebok CrossFit Games. Last year, just 1 man was able to finish it. There have been some different predictions as to how many men will finish it here in 2018.
You know, so I'm talking to some of the athletes. Some of them said that they think only fewer than 3 are going to be able to finish. Dave Castro, the director of the CrossFit Games, was hoping 10 to 15, and we've only had 2 finish, and we're in the final heat.
Jorgen Carl Gudmundsson, you saw him walking his kettlebells forward. He is the first man done with the round of 8. There are 67 total repetitions in this event. At the 52 mark, they will take off down the floor on that 89-foot overhead walking lunge with the 2 53-pound kettlebells held over their heads.
Now last year, BKG down the bottom left-hand side of your screen there, he did this event, came in 7th place overall. So again, he's pretty experienced, he knows what this is, he knows where to make the breaks, he remembers exactly what this felt like, but he was capped plus 9 reps. So he's doing very well, managing that rest. And again, we want to see these guys not sit up in that handstand position. If they're not going to move, they need to come off. That's exactly what BKG just did there.
Matt Fraser is your leader right now through 35 reps, but more importantly for him is he is ahead of Lucas Hogberg, the man closest to him in the overall standings.
And if you look at the middle of your screen, Lucas Hogberg is there kneeling down. You can see just how demanding this gymnastic movement is for him. That's the problem with these gymnastic movements. Once they go away, they disappear and you have no choice but to sit there and stare at the wall.
Hogberg just trying to stay as close as he can to Matt Fraser right now, who is having no problem and has Noah Olsen's time to beat in his sights.
You know, I was really curious about how Matt was going to handle this. He's never really had this much pressure on him at this particular part in the games. We saw him falter a little bit on the cleans earlier, so we wanted to see if he could actually handle the pressure of being chased. Tell you what, he looks very confident right now. He knows he's ahead of everybody. But there, Pat Vellner is the guy that's keeping the pressure on him all the way through.
Pat Vellner in 3rd place overall, 74 points behind Matt Fraser. He needs to start beating him in events in order to pick up points, but Matt Fraser is a man who does not surrender points easily. Now Lucas Hogberg is going to join Fraser and Vellner on the kettlebell deadlifts.
And Hogberg has been amazing. He had an incredible start at this particular game. He just needs to hold on to that position. He has to keep fighting.
Matt Fraser will be the first man on the overhead walking lunge. And Pat Vellner is now done. Fraser taking off down the floor. Time to beat 5:22.39 seconds belongs to Noah Olsen, but probably not for much longer.
Look at that tempo of those steps by Matt Fraser. Very quick, and last time he was waving to the crowd at this point. He's not doing that now.
Fraser continuing to march towards the finish line, and he's going to take a break, and he has to retreat to the nearest line, and here comes Patrick Vellner.
And look at Vellner's arms. Those arms are way wide and way bent. That's very rough on the shoulders, but he is fighting, trying to catch Matt.
Fraser has the kettlebells back up, and he continues to move towards the finish line. Add it up however you want. The answer will still be the same. Matt Fraser wins the Fibonacci.
I tell you what, I love seeing him chase. That's impressive.
Only 2 men in the final heat finished the event.
Pat Vellner now across the finish line. Vellner will take 4th in the event.
Brent Fikowski comes close. His effort is good enough for a tie for 5th. Lucas Hochberg takes 7th, his 5th top 10 finish in 7 events. Cole Sager continues to lose ground. He ties for 22nd. At the halfway point, Matt Fraser continues to hold the overall lead. In just 3 events, his margin goes from 8 points to 48. Lucas Hochberg and Pat Vellner stay in the top 3. Brent Fikowski continues to creep up the leaderboard, while Cole Sager falls another spot to 5th.
Feels better when you do better. Still a minute behind Matt, so. And another 4th place finish, I think, for me. So that's kind of cheesy. Got to get in those top 3s, man, get some big points. But it's better than last time, for sure.
Everything? It was good. I was very clear-minded. I had a good, fair judge. He was making me really open up my hips on the handstand push-ups, which was good. It was fair. So it just slowed me down, like just a little bit, but I'm still super happy.
Yeah, can I get a picture?
I feel good. My body's in great shape. It's nice to end the day on a high note. Excited for tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So far, it's going well for Matt Fraser. But 2 days and 7 more events remain. And the test will only get tougher. Next time on the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games.
For 2 days, the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games have been contested on dry land. That changes on day 3. Brent Fikowski opening it up. James Newberry right behind him. It is time to embrace the chaos. The athletes are being told right now, work until I tell you to stop. Back-to-back events to close out day 3 of competition, and rumors of Matt Fraser being human have been greatly exaggerated.
This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.